What's up, everybody? I have another book review for you today. This is from the original Goosebumps series. This is The Headless Ghost. And I have two copies here that I wanted to show off. I have this one is the one that I brought with me. For those of you who don't know, I bring my books with me to work. I try to bring the ones that aren't like worth a ton and keep the rare ones at home. I do have another copy of this book that's identical to this. It's only there's only a slight difference. This one here has the Horrorland advertisements in it, so it came out a little bit later. And I have the other original one that came out around 2000 and I might have those mixed up. I think it's 2003 and 2007. And this came out in 2007, I think, and the 2003 had the reprint editions. But I'm not really even going to show that one because it's literally the same thing. There's really no differences. I think the only difference is on the back as like pictures, and the other one is more just nothing else, just blank with a brief summary. And this is the book that I'll be holding up in this video. This is the original. I'm not sure if it's like first printing. I don't think it is. I may have another copy of this book too. Again, it's the same thing that is a first printing. I really have to go through my books, and I haven't had time to do that. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about nostalgia here with this book. So when I was a kid, I do have kind of a funny story about this. I remember going to Goodwill, and again, this is before the internet, before I actually was able to access pictures of what the front covers looked like. So when I saw these, and I couldn't get them, I'd like memorize what they looked like. And that was the biggest thing for me, was trying to figure out what the covers looked like. And I'm just realizing my camera is a little crooked, I think. Maybe not. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So I remember getting this book at a Goodwill, and I found like a bunch of books with it, and this just happened to be with it, and I grabbed it. The whole front cover was tore off. Like, it was just, as soon as you open the book, it just had like the Headless Ghost on the front, like the printing words, and the front cover was torn. And so I remembered I'd turn the book around and try to look at the little window to try to get the picture of it, and I thought it was pretty cool, but always wanted a full copy. Years later, I remember going to I might have went to another Goodwill, or a friend or something gave it to me. I'm not quite sure. Long story short, I ended up getting another copy of this book with the torn cover off of it. So I was like, I'm never gonna have a book that has like the full thing. And I remember it wasn't until I was an adult that I actually bought one online. They're like, I could not find this book like with a regular cover. Now, it's not as hard. I think I found a few copies here and there at Second and Charles and different things like that. But yeah, I remember liking this book as a kid, not loving it, and knowing, not really remembering too much about it. I remembered vaguely about the ending, mainly from the TV show. But yeah, when I reread this book, there was a lot of stuff that started coming back to me that I really didn't remember a ton of as a kid. And it actually surprised me. And it's very rare for me to reread a Goosebumps book and be like, oh yeah, I forgot all about that. But yeah, so the story itself follows these two kids named Stephanie and Dwayne. They are called the Twin Terrors, or I think they call themselves that, because they love to scare other kids. They love to sneak outside, make werewolf howls, and go to windows and throw fake bugs on this kid that's scared of bugs. They take chicken bones and put it in mailboxes. Different things like that. I mean, they don't sound like the greatest kids to be around. They even sneak out. This is not like something that they tell their parents, like, oh, I'm going to go out, for a while. They just end up sneaking out and going outside and just doing this stuff, behind their parents' backs. And yeah. So there is this one place that they want to kind of up their scare game a little bit. And that is this house that is on their block called the Hill House. The Hill House has this reputation for being haunted. They have these all-night visits where you can do like a tour, and it's like every couple of hours or so, which is really cool. If there was a thing like that around here, that I'd probably be interested in going to that. And these kids go to this thing like a lot. They love it. And yeah, so their plan is to sneak into this, or go on the tour and sneak away from the group and just try to explore the house. The reason they want to explore the house is because of some ghost stories that they hear. And one of the most notorious ghost stories is about this kid named Andrew Craw. So, to tell you the story, there's actually more to the first part of the story. The first part of the story is there was this captain, the sea captain, and this his newlywed wife that they just married. They built this house. They moved in together, and he went to sea, and he got lost, and he never came back. So she left, and when he came back, he was out looking for his wife, and he couldn't ever find her, and he ended up dying in the house, and she left and done other things. So you can hear him saying her name was Abigail. So you can hear him saying Abigail over and over again, looking for her. And yeah, so after this other family moves in, and this kid named Andrew Craw, he is out. He's like a mischievous kid, pulls pranks on people, I think, or something. And he is out roaming the halls, and he runs into the ghost of the sea captain. And the ghost of the sea captain grabs him by his head, pulls it off, and he dies. And I thought that was actually insane because I remember one thing about this book that I had trouble remembering as a kid was how did this kid lose his head? Like I was like, surely they're not gonna like decapitate a kid like in a book. Like how in the world? And he kind of does, but like not in a sense that you would think. You know, like I don't really know any other way around doing that in a kid's book. But yeah, this ghost just takes his head, pulls it off, and yeah. And after that, Andrew Craw, he basically is looking for his head throughout the whole uh, like years that he's been a ghost at this house. So the kids sneak off and they want to find this kid's head. And so the kids sneak off into the tour and they see this other guy named Seth, who they realize his name later on. And he is just this creepy kid that just like stares at them the whole time. And yeah, I do want to go over some other stories that they have about this house. One of them involves well, there's only one other story that I actually remember. I know there was another one about this ghost with like red eyes. It's like a lady or something. I don't remember. I didn't remember that much, and I probably should have went back and looked at it again. But it was a good story too. All of the ghost stories involving this house is crazy. But one of the other ones is where this um purple rash pops up on these two couple that are staying in there, and that was kind of weird. It's just kind of random, but it's kind of weird. And that's mostly what the first half of this book is these kids roaming around, telling scary stories, and they sneak away. And yeah, they start exploring the house. There's a couple of jump scares here and there. There's one scene where the girl Stephanie says that she found the head, but it turns out to be just like a bowling ball. And yeah, just different things like that. They ended up getting caught, and they get kicked out. You know, tell them to go home. You know, come back another day or whatever. So they leave, and they run into this guy Seth, who he introduces himself and says that he can sneak in because he knows the way like to get into this haunted hill house without causing too much disturbance or whatever. And yeah, they end up sneaking back in, and yeah, that's really where I'm going to leave it because after the second half, we do get some twists and turns, and I'm not going to say much more about it. But yeah, the Headless Ghost was a really really solid one. Really fun. I didn't really know what to expect reading this because I did remember a good bit. I do have going back to nostalgia. I do have a very very fond memory of reading this book in my parents' living room under this lamp really late at night, and I thought it was just really fun. And reading this, it just really brought back like so much memories, especially whenever they're exploring this old creepy house and they got these candles lit up, and yeah, it's just really fun. I will agree that I was kind of torn on this one because, to be honest with you, nothing really happens in the first half. It's just these kids exploring up to page like 70. Nothing really, really happens. And they're just exploring this house and telling creepy stories. But I'll say right up front, the creepy stories was a very fun part of this book. I thought that a lot of the creepy stories were really good. And yeah, it kind of felt like a bunch of stories in one. And yeah, I mean, it was just a really fun book. And the twist, a book that, again, this is a book that I read as a kid. So I figured I should remember some of these twists, but I didn't. I didn't remember anything about Seth. I didn't remember anything about certain people in this book. And when certain things started happening, I was like, oh, okay. And there's like a twist within a twist towards the end that was very fun. And I thought that the first twist was the truth, but it wasn't. The second part was. And I thought it was just really good. This was a really fun book. I read this for September because I thought it took place around Halloween. And it kind of does. There's just this kind of thing where they talk about like this whole thing started on a Halloween where they go into this house. And so I don't really know if it's like present or he's still telling the story. Kind of lost track on that. But yeah, The Headless Ghost is a fun one. I do recommend it. It's a very goosebumpsy type book. There's yeah, it does take a little while to get really started, but it's just cozy, very fun, and I enjoyed like the exploration of the house and different things like that. And when the ghost does pop up, he's actually kind of creepy, but like not what you think. Something happens and then it just ends. And yeah, I was while I was reading this, I was like, well, how are they going to escape the headless ghost? You know, throughout the ending of it, but there's something else that kind of happens that I didn't remember at all. Oh yeah, I'm interested to rewatch the episode of this to see because I did watch it like last year around Halloween and and I remember a good bit of it, but like I've seen it so many times that there's really nothing that surprises me. But the book surprised me. But yeah, The Headless Ghost, I'd honestly give it like a 4 out of 5 stars. I thought it was great. I thought it was a very fun book. Um, yeah, one of the better ones. I don't think it's like my favorite. I know it's not my favorite, but it's I don't even think it's like my favorite out of what I'm gonna rate it. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 stars, but I don't think it's my favorite 4 out of 5 stars book that I read. It's kind of lower end 4 out of 5 stars, but I do think it's above average. So yeah, 4 out of 5 stars for me, guys, for The Headless Ghost. Please let me know in the comments below. What did you think about this book? Is it one of your favorites, least favorites? Um, is there, yeah, what are your favorites in the Goosebumps series? I do plan on reading some more Halloween oriented Goosebumps books. I'll see how far I can get. The next one I am very, very excited for that I plan on reading. And yeah, that's it for me, guys. Thank you. Bye bye.